you ever wondered what America was like 100 years ago?
Or how peanut butter was invented?
Why is the sky blue?
Tired of the same boring history book?
Let's discover something new today.
Welcome to Kids on the Square!
This episode of Kids on the Square is called The Mini Mayflower.
All the classics all day long on WKOTS.
Mom, why are we going to Uncle Si's?
I thought it would be fun for you all to see what your Uncle Si has been working on for Thanksgiving. Plus, I'm pretty sure he needs some help.
Oh no, is it another immersive cornucopia? Are we going to have to arrange hundreds of feathers like last year?
Oh, I hope so. I love the way we recycled pumpkin pie tins into lanterns.
No, it's not exactly that, but you know what your Uncle Si says. Go big or go home.
Are we almost there?
Yep, we're turning into his section of the neighborhood now, honey.
Whoa. Mom, is Uncle Si building a boat in his front yard?
Well, honey, it sure looks like it.
Sure does.
Sheridan!
Sheridan, I didn't know you were coming by.
Yeah, my dad dropped me off when he heard wrestling was canceled.
Great minds think alike.
I guess.
Mom, there's Uncle Si. He's got a big floppy hat on. And is he wearing tights?
Yeah, he is, honey.
He looks like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Whoa, we gotta go check this out. Come on, Sheridan.
Hi there, everybody.
Uncle Si, what are you doing?
And what are you wearing?
I've been waiting all week to show ya. Gather ye around, Webster offspring, and behold what I like to call the mini Mayflower. It is a replica of what the actual Mayflower would have looked like, but just scaled down to fit in my yard. And the getup is something like what the pilgrims on the Mayflower would have worn, knickers and all.
What in the world? Why?
Well, I must confess, I got a bit excited for you to see the mini Mayflower, so I dusted off some of the old holiday costumes in the attic. I thought it'd be a nice extra touch. You know the tradition that I can only wear the inflatable turkey suit on actual Thanksgiving Day, so that wasn't an option. And besides, the knickers are actually pretty comfortable when you're working. They got a good stretch to them.
No, Uncle Si, why in the world are you building a boat in your front yard?
The backyard was too small.
Uncle Si.
The inflatable turkey had a rip.
Uncle Si!
Seriously, Si, what were you thinking? Isn't this a bit much?
Yeah, you're probably right. But hey, what else are you supposed to do when you have extra time and a minor in theatrical design, all right? Okay. Just let me explain. I got the idea when I found this trunk. It was Grandmother Marie's. Here, I'll show you. It's on the lower deck.
Are you sure this thing is structurally sound?
Of course. Sturdy as a rock. Built it with my own two hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Okay, now let's go below deck. All right, watch your heads with this beam here, and I'm just gonna scooch right past you there, Pam. Oh, ow. Looks like my buckle caught that rope. Just one more scooch. All right, okay. Oh, okay, all right. Everybody gather around. Here, look. All these scrapbooks and photos of our family holidays, and of course, Thanksgiving.
Whoa, is that you, Uncle Si? Your hair is so long.
Yeah, the style was to keep it pretty groovy back then.
Where are you in the photo, Mom?
I'm the baby right there.
Wait, you were a baby?
Yes, honey, everyone is a baby at some point.
Yeah, but I didn't think you were.
Okay, honey.
Hey, Pam, do you remember this Christmas when Aunt Trish spilled the mashed potatoes on the rug?
Uncle Si, focus. How does this trunk lead to a full yacht in your front yard?
Oh, right. Well, after I looked through all these knickknacks and memories, I reached the bottom of a trunk and found an inscription. Brewster 1620.
That's not our family. We are the Websters.
Exactly. So I pulled out the old family tree and began looking, but that turned out a dead end. We don't know our family tree that far, but my noggin wouldn't rest, though. So I went to the next clue, the date 1620. I remembered that 1620 was when the pilgrims set sail for North America. After some digging and Googling, I discovered William Brewster of Massachusetts, who was an original pilgrim.
Wait, so you're saying...
Our great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a pilgrim on the Mayflower.
What?
Yeah, pretty neat, huh?
We've got a special guest today here to tell us about a real good recipe.
Hello, welcome. We are so happy to have you. Would you please share with us your name and essentially who you are and what you do?
I'm Chef George Harvell, and for about the last 45 years, I've been an executive chef and a pit master, and I've worked on multiple stages.
Yes, absolutely. And I have had the great blessing of knowing you for many years and also tasting your food. So as the holidays are coming up, I hear that you may have a recipe for our listeners.
I do have a recipe that I think is loved by many people, and it's called Orange Bourbon Cranberry Relish. And I think anybody who tries this will probably never open another can of cranberry sauce.
That's our hope. That's our mission. From this episode on, they'll notice a decline in sales, and they'll be able to pinpoint it back in history to this right here.
Sure.
So, what makes this so special? This cranberry relish so special?
Well, it's fairly easy to make. You use fresh cranberries. The ingredient list is very short, it's a very small list, and the aroma that it imparts in your house, not just your kitchen, is better than any scented candle you've ever lit, ever. It's the smell of orange, cinnamon, and cranberries, and it's all mixed together. And I promise, even if you didn't like the recipe, you would love the aroma in your home.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Not everybody wants cranberries with their Thanksgiving meal. I'm personally somebody who does, but the smell alone, you're so right. I remember way back when we were just starting to get to know you, I had the joy of going and seeing you make this relish in big batches and big vats and tubs and tins. And again, yeah, the ability to make food for the masses, like a big restaurant, you have that skill. But then also this recipe is great when you're serving it just a smaller version too. It works kind of any size. My question to you is though, the word has gotten out about this relish. Do you now have to still make it in vats for people during the holiday season? Or do you get to kind of like take it easy and make just one serving for yourself? I have a feeling you might be the merry cranberry man spreading this around.
I would never consider just doing it for my family because there are so many people that have tried it, including your family. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's expected, but it's really appreciated. And so I try to make probably 5 to 10 times as much as I could possibly eat because there's so many people that love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would encourage anyone, if they want to check out this recipe, you can visit our website. It is handcrafted by Chef George Harvell, super special. But I would encourage anyone who does it, make a double batch.
Absolutely.
Right?
They don't know. They really don't know how good it is. But that's one of the recommendations I have during the cooking process is it's essential that when you're letting it cool, that you get out a fork or a spoon and taste it, even before it's cooled enough. So be careful. But it's so delicious that you have to try it before you jar it up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Come on. The smell alone, you got to know. Taste test.
Yeah, that's right.
Chef Harvell, thank you so much for joining us. Our listeners, we're just so thankful you're here. Hopefully we'll get some more wonderful recipes from you in the future too. So if you're interested in things like this, make sure you check out kidsonthesquare.com and you can find Chef George Harvell's recipes.
Hey
everyone. Did you know that Kids on the Square has a new website? It's loaded with fun, free resources based on our episodes. And the best part is, you can talk to us. We now have a new contact page that allows you to record a voice message and send it straight to us. We'd love to hear from you, and your voice message could end up in an episode. Check it out at kidsonthesquare.com and leave us a message today.
Do you seriously think our ancestors were on the Mayflower?
Bam, we had to be. I got a whole chart tracking the Brewsters. Look, they had 6 children. Jonathan, Patience.
Mom, it's too cramped up here. Can I go above deck and play pirates?
All right, but I'll come with you. I don't want you leaning too far over the railing. But I will be taking this chart to study.
Good. The family trees don't exactly match until the 1950s, but she'll see it. Now, what do you boys say to helping me finish attaching the rudder steering mechanisms, huh?
Wait, Uncle Si, none of this makes any sense.
I know it's hard to believe, but you can look at my charts when your Aunt Pam's done with them, and you'll see the strong possibility that it all lines up.
But the names are totally different. We are the Websters. Did wearing that hat and tights make you forget your last name?
Have you forgotten that we technically don't all have that last name?
Huh? He's right. My mom's last name was Webster, and she's Uncle Si's sister. But then she married my dad and changed her last name to Longwell. So the same thing could happen with Brewster.
That's right, John. There's a good chance that we're descended from one of the daughters. Hey, do you mind holding this socket wrench, John?
Well, even if it lines up, isn't it bad to be a pilgrim?
Sorry, Uncle Si, that wrench was heavier than I thought.
Yeah, that's all right, John. I got 9 other toes that can work. But Sheridan, that is an interesting question you just asked. Ooh, most explorers were very brutal to the Native Americans, but not the Pilgrims. They actually held a peace treaty that lasted for 50 years with the Native Americans.
Oh.
And the Pilgrims were very different from most of the people in Europe. They journeyed to North America to worship God freely, and they were very thankful for any help the Native Americans gave them. You know, they learned a lot from a native called Squanto.
Who?
Oh, Squanto. John, you've lost wrench duty. Here, hold the flashlight. And Sheridan, keep this wrench at 90 degrees for me. Oh.
So why did the Squanto guy help the Pilgrims?
Oh, 2 interesting questions in a day. Watch out, Sheridan. You're going to make the daily double if you keep that up.
Huh?
Oh, you know, like in Jeopardy.
That's like trigonometry, right?
Oh, never mind. You see, Squanto's story is very tragic and powerful. He was captured against his will by Spanish explorers and taken to Spain. While he was in Spain, he learned English and luckily found a way back home to his tribe. Years went by, and one day, the Pilgrims showed up. The Pilgrims were scared, tired, and praying God would help them survive. Well, isn't it just the darndest thing? Out of the places to land, they landed right where Squanto lived. One of, if not the, only Native Americans who could speak English.
Whoa, that's pretty amazing.
A miracle. Over time, the Pilgrims earned his trust, and he showed them ways to plant food and survive. There, I think that just about does it for the rudder. How about you boys give me a hand bringing this trunk back up? Especially since I got 2 broken toes now.
Uncle Si, I'm so sorry.
I'm teasing. Come on, though. I got one more thing to show you.
Let's go to the Book Nook.
Welcome to the Book Nook, where we highlight different books that we enjoy and even interview the authors. Today we have a very special Book Nook interview with Jasmine Mullen. Jasmine is an amazing artist, talented singer-songwriter, and now a children's author. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are thrilled to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, and we love your book. So your book, do you mind sharing a little bit about your book?
Totally. So Ben Washington is the newbie on the block. It's a book about a little boy, well, he's 12 years old, and his name is Ben Washington. He moves from Atlanta, Georgia to a tiny, tiny town called Radnor Falls, Wisconsin with his family, and he is not excited about it because he's leaving everyone he knows and loves and moving to a place that he doesn't really know anybody. And on top of that, he just starts to observe that he also feels kind of different than everybody. So he's navigating like what it means to, one, just be 12 years old, but two, what it means to be different. And he's trying to make friends along the way.
Yes. Oh, it is such a great journey. And I love the heart of this book. There's multiple morals and messages that hit me, even as an adult. It was a really fun read, too. I felt like I was transported back to that middle school age.
Yeah.
But then, too, even lessons, there's great wisdom. The parents you write in this book are wonderful. The adults go through very real feelings and processes, and you just do such a great job making your characters come alive. So I'm so glad we get to talk about your book more and share it with our audience. One thing I love is the journey through the seasons and the holidays in this book. So is that coming from your own life? You have a special emphasis on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So what does Thanksgiving mean to you, or why did you feel like you wanted to put Thanksgiving in this book?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. Okay, so Thanksgiving is really important in our family. Now, Christmas is my favorite holiday of all time.
Okay.
I'm like a weird Christmas lady, like if I could, I'd have like all the blow up things in my yard, but I don't think anybody in my neighborhood would like that.
I think a lot of our characters in Kids on the Square feel that as well. Uncle Si would have your back on that.
Thank you, Uncle Si.
Yeah, Uncle Si would be right there with you.
See, kindred spirits.
Okay, so Christmas is your be-all, end-all, but we have a special emphasis on Thanksgiving.
And that really does come from my family where, in Ben's story, it's a 5-day event that they have for Thanksgiving where it's like, the day before Thanksgiving, the day before the Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving the day after. And
leftovers.
The leftovers, and then Big Sunday where they all go to church together. And honestly, we have a 3-day. So we have, it ends up sometimes being a little bit of a fourth too. But it's like, we have the day before Thanksgiving, and then we've got Thanksgiving Day. The day after, we just kind of all sit in our PJs, eat more Thanksgiving food. We start watching Christmas movies. Then we have one more day where we just do nothing and eat, and we're all in our pajamas and play games and whatever. And our turkey, like, it is really the sacred turkey thing that we talk about in the book. Yes. Ben's dad makes this thing called sacred turkey. And my dad makes a sacred turkey. It's like a fried turkey. And he makes this thing called atomic turkey. That is like the thing. Have you had it?
I remember this now.
Yes.
It's deep in the vortex. But yes, I do remember this.
He takes a turkey and injects it with Texas Pete hot sauce. And then he like douses it. And some other special things that I don't even know go into it.
It's a science.
It's a science. And he deep fries it. And now my brothers do it too. They know how to do it. And so, the turkey is extremely, it's like a passed down thing, and we have so many traditions, and it's often the only time that our like whole family is like together like that, and I think for so many people, and so for the Washington family, I just wanted it to, because it feels larger than life for us, I wanted it to feel like this larger than life, like family experience, because family is so important to him. It's really important to me too.
I love that. And, as a reader, I got so much of that. And also my own Thanksgiving, which is really a fun thing that you can experience through a book where it's like I felt like I learned a different way that Ben celebrated, but it also gave me great memories of how we celebrate. So that was really special about your book. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us. We are so blessed to have you today. And again, I just want to share with our listeners, please go check out Ben Washington is the Newbie on the Block, written by Jasmine Mullen. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, one more good tug and... there we go.
That chunk was heavy.
Good job bringing it up here, boys.
Now let me show you one more thing. This is a letter written by an actual pilgrim from the Mayflower.
And it was in the trunk the whole time?
Well, no, I printed it off the internet because I thought it'd be a nice touch. Hey, Pam, would you do the honors? I don't have my reading glasses with me. There's not enough pocket room in the knickers.
I'll try. Oh, sheesh. There's definitely some words I don't know how to pronounce.
Just do your best.
All right. Our harvest being gotten in, our governor sent 4 men out, so that we might after a special manner rejoice together, after we gathered the fruits of our labors, many of the Indians coming amongst us, and amongst the rest their great king Massasoit, with some 90 men whom for 3 days we entertained and feasted. By the goodness of God, we are so far from want. Edward Winslow, 1621, Plymouth.
Well, pretty incredible, right? Can't you just imagine it standing here on our mini Mayflower?
One thing I can't imagine right now is food. I'm starving.
Me too.
Uncle Si, any chance you have some snacks?
Yeah, of course. There's lots inside. I got some of those mini pizza bagel bites you can heat up.
Sweet.
Help yourselves, kiddos.
I'll help you preheat the oven.
Uncle Si,
Yeah?
do you really believe our ancestors were on the Mayflower?
Who knows?
I think I can picture it. Baskets of corn, fresh bread, fruits, and meat. Over 90 people were sitting there feasting, not knowing what winter had in store.
You can?
Yeah, but there's one thing I can't figure out. Why would you go through all this trouble to make a miniature replica of the Mayflower?
For this right now, Sheridan.
It is the season of Thanksgiving, a time for thankfulness. So we're going to share what we are thankful for this year.
I'm thankful for my family.
I'm thankful that I was able to be here today.
I'm thankful for wrestling.
I'm really thankful for all the help I can get from family.
I'm thankful for my parents.
I'm thankful for my family too. I'm thankful for my family and friends.
Thankful for baseball.
I'm thankful for skateboards.
I'm thankful for my friends.
I'm thankful for a good education.
I am thankful for food and water. I am thankful for a nice, cozy house.
I'm thankful for my Holy Bible.
I am definitely thankful for my Savior, Lord Jesus. That is my number one thing I'm thankful for. And second, I'd say my family. And third, I'd definitely say my cat.
Thanks for joining us for another episode here at Kids on the Square. We hope you enjoyed the mini Mayflower. If you did, please share this episode with a friend and subscribe to our podcast page so you don't miss our next release, a special Christmas episode. If you'd like to learn more about the book Ben Washington is the Newbie on the Block and hear the rest of our interview with Jasmine Mullen, or to hear more stories and recipes from our friend Chef George Harvell, keep an eye on this podcast feed and on our YouTube page, Kids on the Square. But parents, if you'd like that special orange bourbon cranberry relish recipe now, and why wouldn't you with Thanksgiving just around the corner, you can hear the instructions straight from Chef George himself if you stick around till the end here, and you can download a PDF of the recipe in the resources section for this episode. Kids on the Square is generously supported by listeners like you. If you'd like to support this program, you can contact us via our website, kidsonthesquare.com. As we mentioned earlier, we've done a total overhaul and have a new contact page that allows you to record a voice message and send it straight to us. We really would love to hear from you. And if you're a parent listening and you're new to the Public Square, we hope you visit our website, thepublicsquare.com, and discover the full host of other radio products we have available. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on
Kids on the Square.
Hi, folks. I'm Chef George Harvell. I'd like to share with you today a wonderful recipe for the holiday season. Thanksgiving, Christmas, orange bourbon cranberry relish. It's a delicious dish and can be served with many things, but especially your turkey dinner. So the ingredients for this is very minimal. I would like to use, in my case, 6 bags of organic cranberry. You don't have to use organic cranberries, but I like to. 4.5 cups of honey, 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, 2 large oranges, zested, and I'll explain what zesting is if you don't know, some type of nonstick spray for your pan, and 1.5 ounces of Jack Daniels. Now, I did call it an orange bourbon cranberry relish, and Jack Daniels actually isn't a bourbon, it's a whiskey, but that just doesn't sound as good, so we're going to call it orange bourbon cranberry relish. But anyway, so here's how we do it. Preheat your oven to 340 degrees. Now, I like to use a sheet pan. You need to use a pan that has sides on it because the cranberries will bleed, and we don't want it to run all into your oven. So I use a sheet pan. Spray it with your nonstick spray, or you can just rub it down with olive oil, but you just want to put something on there to keep it from sticking. Put your cranberries on the pan. Now, you're going to have to sort through them. Cranberries usually have a few overripe berries, a few underripe berries. Just discard those and spread them out on your pan as evenly as you can, and then pour the honey all over the top of the cranberries. Then with your cinnamon, just sprinkle it all over the top. Try to cover all the cranberries with it if you can. Then take your oranges and zest them. Now that's basically you're just removing the skin in little pieces. I use a microplane. You can use a box grater with the smallest holes, but a microplane works best. Then you put all your zest over the top after you put the cinnamon on the cranberries, and then slice the oranges, very thick slices, maybe 4 slices per orange, and evenly place those on top of the cranberries. Place the pan in your oven for about 45 minutes, give or take 5 minutes. What we're looking for is for the berries to pop. As they heat up, they expand and they start to pop. You want the berries, most of the berries, to be popped before you take the pan out of the oven. Take the pan out, take the oranges off, let them cool for a little while, and then squeeze the oranges over the cranberries. Now, they're going to be hot, so you want them to cool a little bit. Then stir the mixture up real well, spread it out evenly, and then you're going to drizzle the Jack Daniels across the top and put it back in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes until it starts to turn a little bit darker. You don't want to burn it. 45 minutes should do it. Take it out, let it cool. As it cools, the cranberry relish will thicken. My request for you is get a spoon out and taste it. You're going to love it. Not to mention, it's going to be a wonderful aroma in your house. And that's it. We hope you enjoy the orange bourbon cranberry relish, and happy Thanksgiving.